the challenge you're going through, this hard time you're going through, might be the best time in your life. Now, right now it's probably not the best time in your life. The thing is, there are two options. Option number one, from this challenge you could rise like the sun behind me. Option number two, you could also go all the way down and sink like the valley below me. So it's all of that depends on what you choose to do. Now, what do I mean by that? When you're in the challenge, okay, of course you don't want now to think about the present that is waiting in that obstacle and that challenge. Like, you're like telling yourself probably, are you joking with me? This is probably the worst time I ever had, or one of the worst times. The thing is that when you go and you change the lens and the way you look at that challenge, you see that there's a lesson in the challenge for you. Now, when you learn that lesson, you'll see that there's a big gift over there. That gift is teaching you a lesson for the rest of your life. Now, there's something really important to understand. There's a time to learn each lesson. When you're in the challenge, it's not the time to learn this lesson. You could ask many people that went through hard times. If they look back, they'll tell you, wow, this is the best time of my life. Of course, if you ask them, well, do you want to go through this again? They'll say, I want to learn the lesson. Not all of them will say that they want to actually go through the same experience. The reason is pretty simple. But before we talk about the reason, I want to give you just a small example. I was talking with a friend that went through a really hard time in his business. There was one time he was in the papers, they were talking about him like, the new star rising in the town. His business was going really well, okay? He was sure that, from here on forward, he's only going up. Of course, some obstacles along the way, but he was sure that this is a path up and nothing's going to happen. Then, as we all know, the past few years, the economy's been changing and he got hit really hard, okay? When I saw him at the beginning, great guy, he's always optimist, and I saw him and he was broken and he had no clue what to do. He thought maybe everything was a mistake, maybe he shouldn't have started. Many thoughts came up to his mind, and it was a really hard time for him. And that was actually the time to feel that hardship, to feel that pain. That wasn't the time to say, like, I would never come and tell him, hey, listen, my friend, this is the best time in your life. No, that's not the time for that. Okay, when he was going through the obstacle, that was the time to feel the challenge, to feel the pain, and to see it for what it really is. That means many times when we have a challenge, we make it much bigger than what it is. So what he did was basically look at the challenge, like he broke it down. Okay, this is a real challenge. This is what's right now in front of me. It's painful, it's hard, for sure, 100%. But number one, he was looking at the challenge the way the challenge is. After that, after some time now, when I talked to him about that challenge, he's like, wow, like I learned so much from that time. And he's taking now these lessons and he's implementing them into his life, and he's growing a lot from that. The same thing with you. When you're going through that challenge, you won't always see that beauty, that lesson that the challenge has for you, but it's always there. Okay, I want to give you an example that I think Ryan Holiday speaks about it in this book, The Obstacle is the Way. And it's a great book. I really recommend you to read it. But he also talks over there about the fact that in every obstacle, there's a lesson for us, okay? Sometimes it's a lesson that we should learn about ourselves, about a certain character in us that we need to develop. Or it's a lesson about our relationship, how we can make our relationship better, our business, health, whatever it is. I'll read for you here now a small part that I really connect to. He truly saw each and every one of these obstacles as an opportunity to practice some virtue. Now, the virtues of our life make our life, okay? If we practice to create the virtues that could take us forward, our life will change and become a much better life. Not only our life, also the life of the people surrounding us. So, back to that. He truly saw each and every one of these obstacles as an opportunity to practice some virtue. Patience, courage, humility, resourcefulness, reason, justice, creativity, and much more. What I'm trying to say is, like we said before, in each obstacle that you have, there's a lesson. Now, if you're just watching this video and continuing to the next, I think it's a waste of your time. Try to go back now to a time in your life that you had a hard time, okay? Now, it could be a few days ago, it could be a month ago, it could be years ago. It doesn't matter. By the way, the bigger the obstacle is, okay, the bigger the hardship is, you might need a little bit more time until you want to reflect and learn the lesson. So look at that time in your life and ask yourself, okay, what can I learn over here? What is the lesson? Is it a certain virtue I want to maybe make it like a better one? Or is it a certain virtue that I say, okay, maybe this one is not for me and I want a different time in life? Or, is it something that has to do with your business, with your relationship, with whatever it is that you say, wow, this is a great lesson for the future that I could make this work in whatever field it is that you chose. So be specific and start with one field, okay? And ask yourself, what is the lesson that you have to learn? Now, I said this a few times and I'll say it again. If you're going through the hardship right now it's not the time. Now it's the time to feel that hardship, to look it in the eyes, okay? This one's also really important because if you just, start going crazy from, all the hard times and you don't really look them in the eyes, they might not be that bad. They might be really hard and crazy, but when you look in the eyes, you see what is in front of you and you don't make it something much worse. And by the way, maybe your situation is really hard. I'm not saying it's not, again, but make it what it is, not something more than that. So after you feel that, okay, after you understand that you're in the obstacle, after you put yourself through, that pain and you put yourself with people that care for you, now, like I said, each obstacle is different. Ask yourself, what are the lessons? And by the way, you might want to reflect a few times on your obstacle and your hard time, because each time you learn something different. It's not that the obstacle has changed. The obstacle is the same obstacle. The challenge is the same challenge that you had. Okay, same hard time. But you have changed with time. So in every time in life, you learn something different. I could tell you with my hard times in life. Hi, I hope this video is serving you. I just want to share with you that my belief in life is that you are here to serve a purpose greater than yourself. But in order to do that the best way, you must start with investing in yourself. Enjoy the rest of the video. I look at them at different times, and sometimes, I would learn one thing, and a different time I learned something else. There was once a lecture that I listened to probably, maybe almost 100 times. And at the time 100, I was like, wow, how didn't I understand that before? It's not that the lecture has changed. No, it didn't. It's the same one the whole time, but I have changed and I've learned new things. The same thing with you, okay? When you go through an obstacle, when you reflect different times, so you'll see that each time you learn something, something new. Now, this one's really important. No blaming. You're not coming from a place of criticism to yourself, okay? If you'll do that, if you're only looking to criticize yourself on how bad you were, how could it be that I didn't see it? How could I didn't understand my partner, when she told me that and now she broke up? Or, in the business, it's like, this deal was supposed to be a great deal, and now I'm going bankrupt. It's like, how didn't I understand that? No, that's not the place. You're not coming from a place of criticism, okay? You're coming from a place of feedback of, okay, I did something wrong. I didn't, communicate right with my partner. I didn't analyze the deal right. I exercised too much. I injured myself. I was wrong, okay? I'm not telling you to tell yourself that you're right when you're wrong. You were wrong, period. But now, what can you learn from it? If you're going to criticize yourself like hell, you're just going down. If you're going to come and ask yourself, okay, I'm taking responsibility. It's my fault. Now, done. What can I learn from it to improve in life? Because if it happened, okay, and it did, so that means it meant to happen. How do I know? Because it happened, period. No, there's nothing really to talk about it. Happened. What's the lesson? Continue on in life. Now, it's also really important to understand, morning over here, so a little bit cold. Really important to understand that when you go through that analysis, okay, number one, like we said, come from a place of feedback, not criticism. Number two, it's even go a step further. Compliment yourself wherever you can, okay? Wherever you did something wrong, again, you did something wrong, all good, but also look at what you did in the process that was right. So you basically look at two places. One, where you were wrong, what you can learn from it. Number two, in that hard time, you look at, okay, what did you do right? Even if it's something small. Because the way to make your life better and to connect to more people around you, because everything around you is people, and with meeting the right people, you create a better life for yourself, is number one, first to connect to yourself, okay? So again, and I'm saying this 10 times, you did something wrong, 100%. Understand, take responsibility. Now, whatever it is in life or in that process that you did that was right, compliment yourself. Only when you connect to yourself, you could also connect to people that are next to you. And when you connect with people that are close to you, so number one, And the next obstacle and hard time in life, you'll have, people that are close to you that will help you overcome that time. And number two, you are the people that are around you. So if you have people that are around you that you appreciate and you love each other and you connect to each other, okay, doesn't matter in what field in life, your life will look much better. You'll bring much more happiness and light to your path. And when you do that, you'll also light the path of the people surrounding you. So remember, each challenge, each obstacle, each hard time, they're all the same, just different language. What's the lesson? Learn the lesson, take it for growth, and create a better life for yourself. I hope you enjoyed the video and you got some tools to overcome your challenges and light your path. For us to help other people, please press that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget that the most amazing things in life are the one you take for granted.